Hi, everyone. I'm Rosann Santos, and I'm a DEI facilitator and keynote speaker. And I also work as an independent consultant for FranklinCovery, where I do leadership development. I do training on unconscious bias with corporations, government entities, law enforcement, and higher education institutions. But as I think about it, there is one area, one industry that I haven't really paid much attention to. And now with everything that's going on in the news, I realize that sports and entertainment is an important area for us to focus on when it comes to DEI and understanding what the challenges are in sports and entertainment. Specifically today, I'm going to focus a little bit on the Washington Commanders, an NFL team. The Washington Commanders owner, Daniel Snyder, has been found to lead an organization with a toxic work culture over multiple decades. The NFL was also found to be complicit in his attempt to avoid congressional subpoenas, questioning, and other ways of getting information and understanding what the work culture is in that organization. As a matter of fact, a 79-page report was published that found that Daniel Snyder, the owner of the Commanders, participated in and permitted this workplace toxic culture to exist for decades. The Washington Post published a series of articles where 40 women came forward to share their experiences within this organization and specifically within the Washington Commanders corporate offices. And I want to thank and recognize these women for their courage, for their decision to come forward, because it's not until these folks who have been wronged come forward that we really start to see the light and things start to hopefully change or attempts are made for change. And what the report found and what these articles found was that women were being bullied and harassed, employees, but also cheerleaders. They were being sexually harassed. They were being illegally recorded. They were being given payoff money so that they wouldn't complain or let the cat out of the bag, so to speak, that someone was recording them or sexually harassing them. Snyder himself had to settle a $1.6 million lawsuit claim from an employee within the Commanders organization. I want to read to you verbatim an excerpt from an article that I found on ESPN.com. And it reads, in July 2020, the Washington Post published a series of articles alleging that over 40 women who were former employees of the organization, including office workers and cheerleaders, had been sexually harassed and discriminated against by Snyder and other male executives, colleagues, and players of the team since at least 2006. A year-long independent investigation into the team's workplace culture, led by lawyer Beth Wilkinson, was concluded in July 2021. It found that incidents of sexual harassment, bullying, and intimidation were commonplace throughout the organization under his ownership. The NFL fined the team $10 million in response, with Snyder also voluntarily stepping down from running the team's day-to-day operations for a few months. On December 8th, 2022, following a 14-month probe, the House Committee on Oversight and Reform published a report which found that Snyder gave misleading answers when he testified about alleged controversies surrounding his team's workplace. The report also accused Snyder of paying former employees hush money so they wouldn't come forward with their allegations of abuse, which included sexual misconduct, exploitation of women, bullying of men, and other inappropriate behavior, describing it as commonplace, and that he was a hands-on owner who had a role in nearly every organizational decision. The report also stated the NFL, quote, has not protected workers from sexual harassment and abuse, end quote. That is probably the most egregious of all, that the NFL as an organization has not done its due diligence to step up to the plate and has allowed all of this to continue. And this is just one team. All this time, I'm thinking, hey, the NFL is working to clean up its act. It's trying to find ways to attract viewership from women. It's working on its policies around domestic violence. And what it seems like now is this is all smoke and mirrors. So what are we doing here? Do we want sports to be inclusive? Do we want to really allow a broad spectrum of viewership and a love for the game? Of course we do, but this is not going to happen when at the highest levels of the organization, of the league, we're allowing men like Snyder and their employees to treat women this way, to sexually harass, and to then hide and bury the information or try to pay people off so that no one knows what's going on. I know that these people have daughters, they have wives, they have nieces. I don't understand what is going on that they don't see beyond their own desires, their own machismo, or their own need to be powerful. Now that all of this has come to the surface, what really needs to happen, if we're really going to talk about organizations in sports and entertainment cleaning up their act, there really has to be a push for education, for training, for better DEI hiring practices, and for really some understanding from people who make the rules that it is not necessary to behave this way. And it is actually better for the bottom line to change all of these toxic workplace policies, and you're going to actually make more money. Studies actually show that when you apply DEI thought processes and DEI protocols, your bottom line increases and you do better against your competition. So it is time, sports and entertainment. It is time, NFL. It is time, Washington Commanders, to bring in training, to bring in speakers like me, that look like me, that have the experience and the knowledge that I do, to provide the quality training, the quality education, and the quality coaching that really is going to make your organization beloved. People love sports. People love the Commanders, right? They have their fan base. Why not be an organization that the team and the country can be proud of? What I described about Daniel Snyder, who, by the way, had to step down as the owner, is not anything to be proud of. He represents the organization, and on a larger level, he is representative of the ownership of the league. So how do we turn this around? Taking steps to show people that understanding DEI is not a threat. In fact, it is an opportunity for you to increase bottom line, get more people behind you, and increase your fan base. People are going to love an organization who loves their community back. So if you're looking for someone to really drive this point home, email me at rs@rosannsantos.com or visit my website at rosannsantos.com. And remember, I do it all in English and Espanol. Thank you.